Hello and welcome to this broadcast from Mid and North Powys Mind. My name is Mike and we've been looking at how mindfulness can help you come to a place of peacefulness within yourself. So what I'd like to do with you today is to take a real journey, a real voyage into the centre, into the heart of being in the present moment, being in the here and now. And it would be easiest for you to hear all of this if you take your meditation position, so sitting comfortably, allowing the chair to receive you, having your feet flat on the floor and having your waist relaxed so that you can breathe fully in your tummy. Allowing your hands just to rest wherever they've fallen, in your lap or on your legs. And allow your eyes to close. And just notice what a difference that makes when you close your eyes. That you come into this inner space. And how, as we've been saying in recent weeks, there's just a knowing of your experience, whatever that happens to be right now. And the message of the last few weeks is that it really doesn't matter what your experience is right now. As you listen to these words, because the invitation has been that instead of focusing on what is being experienced, that instead you focus on what is doing the experiencing, you could say. What is just naturally aware of whatever it is that's being experienced. And that may sound counterintuitive, especially if you're still at the stage where you're struggling with thinking, where you haven't been able to create any space in between your thoughts, the constant stream of thinking, the commenting, the judging, the opinions, and all of those things which create the feelings which you're trying to improve, trying to allow to come to rest. So those thoughts are the really sticky places where we find it really hard to be in the space of being where everything's already at peace. And so in the past there have been the suggestions of just turning your attention away from the thinking and bringing it instead to the feeling of the sensations in your body, perhaps. Maybe right now, if you turn your attention to how your body's feeling, without saying anything to yourself about it, so that we don't go back into the mind. So that we are just here present as this knowing space, you could say. That then we can have a direct knowing of a particular feeling in the body. And when we come into this space, which is just a silent knowing, which doesn't need to put anything into words or thoughts in order to know whatever it is that you're aware of, then we allow ourselves to stay in this space of being. And that's the tricky bit. But that's what we are going to have a look at doing today. So just really allow yourself just to let go of any thinking, which I know is easier said than done for a lot of you. But you can imagine pressing a big pause button or unplugging the thinking chip like a computer processing chip, just unplug it, or just like unplugging the plug from the wall and turn the switch off, pull the plug out, let it fall on the carpet, so that you completely disable the ability to think for a while. Or if the thoughts are still there, then turn the volume down so that you can still see the mouth moving, but you can't hear the words of the thoughts. or just allow them to be there. If you can't do any of that, just allow the thoughts to be there, but just become disinterested in them. Like pretend they're in a foreign language, you can't understand them, that you're not turning your attention towards them. Because as soon as you do that, as soon as you decide not to place your attention and your energy in whatever the thoughts are that are coming and going, they automatically become just a little bit quieter. And instead put your attention in how your body is feeling. If you just give yourself a space to just come to a place of rest, to just allow yourself to stop for a moment, then this knowing that's just naturally here will be aware, because it always is aware, because you are always aware. And if we just turn that awareness towards, how does your body feel right now? Maybe you can feel the sensation of your feet on the floor. You'll be able to feel the sensation of whatever it is that you're sitting on. So your sitting bones, your legs in contact with the chair, perhaps your back in contact with the cushions or the chair as well. You can just choose to put your attention there and notice the feeling of it. And as you do that, the thinking mind calms down. As we've done before, when you get to this place of relaxation, you can see that there's an awareness of the movement of breathing. And we've done this several times before, where we've taken this movement of breathing to be the focus of our attention. And perhaps just do that together for a couple of minutes, where you just allow your natural awareness, your natural presence, just to be aware of however your body is breathing right now. Perhaps notice that even already you become distracted because the mind has wanted to say something about it. Some comment has appeared about your breathing. And that's just disconnected you from the knowing of your breathing. So just ignore the thinking, ignore that comment. Don't give it any interest and just come back into the breathing. This space where there's just a knowing of this movement of your breath. Not trying to make your breath into anything. Just being this witnessing, this impassive observer of this breath, this one right here. And then this one too. And this breath too. Just allow yourself to slow down enough so that you don't have to know anything in your thinking mind. You don't have to have a comment about what is being experienced. That it's a really simple thing that we're turning our attention to. It's a thing that you're not doing. You're not breathing in and out. Your body is breathing in and out. You have no idea how long this next breath is going to be. But you can follow it. You can just be the knowing of it, be the awareness of it. You can just allow this breath to be as long or as short. You can allow it to come to a full stop and just stay there, because at some point it'll start again. It always has done. So it doesn't even matter if you stop breathing altogether, because your body will take over. It'll override the thinking that's got in the way of it. When I first began meditating, I didn't really care for it much, because as soon as I tried to pay attention to the breathing, that interfered with it and I couldn't breathe properly, and I realised then I was holding my breath. But then the body overrides that and it starts breathing again. So even not breathing isn't a problem. It's just what is right now. And we're just doing this in order to catch sight of the space of just simply being, where we can let things be as they are, where we put everything to one side just for a few moments, just for a few minutes, and unplug our thinking mind. And we don't pay any interest. We have no interest at all in whatever ideas or comments crop up. Instead, we have this resolve, this intention to stay present. So when the mind brings thoughts about things that you have to do, we just turn away from that. We come back to being here in the present. You forget about what you did yesterday or even earlier today. Allows you to come into this here and now. You don't touch any ideas about what next, what you're going to do in the next moment or after this is finished, or things that you have to do in the rest of the day, because that's just thinking. We're not waiting for the next experience. We are allowing ourselves to be completely present here and now. When we do that, we notice there's just this effortless awareness already present. You are already always present. You are this space in which sights and sounds and feelings, thoughts even, just come and go. And just looking at trying something different to the normal way of being. We're just trying to just stay here, in this here and now, which we can't pin down, but which is always here. The trick is not to turn this into thinking. Don't go back to the mind, which is always in motion. Allow yourself to stay still in this place of simply being, simply knowing, simply being aware without even trying. And just practicing staying here. Just staying here. And the more we do this, the more we find that the body begins to feel more relaxed. That changes the way the breath is. So if we've been following the breath, we'll notice that perhaps at the beginning of a meditation, we can call it that, the breath might be short or a bit interrupted, not smooth. But the more we hang in here, the more we keep launching our attention at being here, present, that the body relaxes more and more, and we find the breath becomes deeper, longer. And this really is the place that the mind doesn't want you to discover, in a way, because there's nothing here for the mind. This is a place where thinking doesn't really have much relevance. This space of being doesn't need any thinking. It's already enough on its own. As we begin this journey into bringing the mind to a more peaceful, balanced state of being, it's really going to complain. It's going to do everything it can to distract you from allowing yourself to being here. But that's okay. The more we stick at it, the easier we're going to find it to just allow ourselves just to be. So let that be your practice when you engage in whatever it is that you do that you know is nourishing you. The thing that when you allow yourself to sink into it, it feels really good. Whatever that is for you, it could be walking out in the nature, in the fields or in the woods, around the lake. It could be just sitting with a cup of tea. If you can just allow yourself just to sit with a cup of tea, not doing anything else, or sitting in your garden on a lovely day. Or if it's engaging with the meditation practice, just allow yourself to be here more and more and see how that makes you feel. And then see what that quality of being feels like as you move into the next thing that you do. So good luck with all of that practicing, and I look forward to seeing you next time.